Hey book besties, welcome back. Today's video we're going to be talking about all the books that I want to read in 2026 and authors as well. Honestly, if I don't put them down as authors, we could be here forever. I'm going to start with the ones that are at the top of my list. Can't really see it. My TBR card is actually next to me right, and the first one that is eyeing me right now is the Legendborn series. Don't ask me what the premise of this book is. I just seen something that said a flying demon feeding on human energy. It sounds good to me. Like, I can see after her mother dies in an accident, she's 16 years old and she wants to escape. I don't really need much information. These covers alone just look so cool. That looks so good. I'm so excited to read it. I wish like when I was in my reading era these books were around. I think this would have kept me reading. I remember looking on shelves and only seeing one race. I don't think I knew how much of a problem I had in my head with it, but I just remember seeing a brunette. I think that's where I'd get excited because like she's got some brown in her. Damn! How lucky is today's generation to have these like, you know, on their shelves. I don't want to say lucky because that should be exactly how it is, but I'm kind of going waffling down a tangent. These two books are definitely on the top of my TBR. That's my first pick for 26. On the route of black fantasy, literally I typed into TikTok black fantasy books and found Feybound in there too. I have no idea what this book is about. It says Feybound, so I'm assuming it's got something to do with fays. The cover just looks so good. Guys, I bought this secondhand and I'm shocked at how good of quality they are. I got all three, Legendborn and this one, for like £7, and that was including delivery. So girl, go shop secondhand. Sometimes it's worth it. I do feel a bit bad though because sometimes I feel like I want to support the authors and buy the books new. When my bank account gets fatter, I'll start just buying new books for no reason. But this one's a Romantasty, which I love. Plus, I think Legendborn has some romance in it, but obviously I think it's more high fantasy than it is Romantasty. It says, imprisoned by faith, divided by blood, bound by desire. A seductive world. When a fatal mistake leads to... something happens and they get banished from this land and they enter Fae borders. Welcome to the intoxicating world of Fae. Tell me that don't sound good. Yeah. Top of the list, let me tell you that one. Since we're in the fantasy, we're going to keep going. I also picked up Blood Trials. Again, another one I got secondhand. Hardback, good quality. I swear when I bought it, I thought it was a paperback. I don't know why it's sprayed red on the edge, but I don't hate it. It kind of goes with her little red outfit, so I'm not mad. Don't know what this is about either. It just says, I will not break or fall in whatever comes next. I am proud of who I am. Okay, that's about the author. She spirals after her grandfather dies. She throws herself into something, maybe these trials. Is magic, technology, and rebellion meets in the stunning debut. Oh, it's a debut. That's actually really cool. I think this is a YA. Legendborn's a YA. I don't know if Feybound's a YA. It feels like it's not for some reason, but it probably is. Look at the cover of that. I don't care. That looks good. That's on the cart just for the cover alone. Oh, speaking of fantasy, that's on my shelf. Six of Crows. I tried reading Shadow and Bone. Okay, I didn't really try it. I played the audiobook for like 2 seconds. I decided I wasn't in the mood for it. Then thought to myself, I got 3 books to get through before I can actually get to this one. Maybe I should just skip ahead and read Six of Crows. This is the one everyone and their grandma can't stop talking about. And if I have a great time here, then I'll jump into Shadow and Bone after. So this might be on the top of the list. All I know is there's a heist. That's it. I really think I'm just gonna jump to this. I feel like I'm more excited about than Shadow and Bone, so I'm not gonna waste time and delay this one any more longer. Right at the top of the list. Oh, I keep saying top of the list. I can't have all of these books at the top of the list. That defeats the whole purpose. That's all the fantasy books that are on my shelf that I want to get to. Okay, fantasy that I don't own that I really want to read is the Lightlock series. This is available on Kobo Plus for, I was about to say for free, but subscriptions are not free. I was gonna order the book, but then I was like, why would you buy them if you can read them for free first? At least the first book first, and if you like it, then you can like indulge, because I need to learn my lesson after Cruel Prince. That has been on the shelf for so long. I don't feel the urge to grab it, even though I still think it's going to be a good read. So I decided I'm going to read on Kobo Plus the first book first and then decide if I want to purchase it. I don't actually know what Lightlock's even about. I just know that there's some crazy love triangle in there. I don't know what the magic system is. I know nothing. It's Romantasty. I love a bit of Romantasty. Can't go wrong with that. So I forgot to tell you, I am not including any of the books I talked about in my 10 before the end. Just know I did not finish all of those books. I still technically have a bit of time. It's still December. However, I don't think I'm going to get through them. They are still on the list. I still really want to read them. I just don't want to make a repetitive video. I need to pull out the actual list so I don't forget what else is it. I also have Caraval on here. I don't know much about what it follows, but I believe it happens at a carnival, circusy type of vibe of a fantasy. Don't know much about it. Heard so much about it. Yeah, I think I'm going to start with that one. I don't have the books here. I don't think they're on Kindle Unlimited or anything like that either. So I might actually have to buy those books to be able to start reading them. I'll try the library first because you know me, I'm on this new journey of trying to utilize the library. While I was looking for black fantasy, black romantasy to be specific, a lot of them were YA, but I did find Vicious Bonds by what's her name? By Sharon Williams. Now, this is her other book, Beautiful Broken Love. She has a Romantasty series, which I didn't know about. And let me tell you right now, I loved her book, this book here. Like, I loved her writing. I think I rated it like 4 stars. So I'm very excited to actually get into her fantasy. And I'm very happy to finally find an adult romantasy, an adult black romantasy. Do you know how hard it is to find those? Hopefully her fantasy is good. I'm going to be giving that go in 2026. I don't know what it's about, don't care, I'm just gonna read it. Another one where the cover just gets me excited. Okay, she actually has a few different covers, but I think this one's my favorite. Why is my thing so dirty all the time? I don't actually know what this book's about. You know what it is? When I picked these books, I did a little debrief, I read a little bit about what they're about, decided, okay, I want to read them and put them on my TBR list. I don't have to worry about it because I know it was a book that sounded good to me, and then did them from my memory. So that's what's happened here. It says her ability to sing men to an early death makes her the top assassin in the kingdom. If the royal family ever find out she's a siren, she'll be executed immediately. As a top student, okay, so it's a YA again. She has spent years honing herself into the perfect killing machine. When her little sister is blackmailed, she takes a dangerous job. I think she becomes a personal bodyguard for the prince, I think, because her sister gets blackmailed, so she has to take this dangerous role. But if he finds out that she's a siren, she'll be killed immediately, but she's also got a real big pull for Sky. Oh, I love those type of books. Listen, I love it. So Sing Me to Sleep, definitely on my list. I don't have this. I don't think I have this on Kobo or on Kindle Limited, so again, might have to purchase that one. I have a new rule coming in place, so I probably won't be able to purchase it for a while, but I'm realizing the list is full of fantasy. I'll make it easy for you. I'll do like a little timestamp. So this is fantasy, and then I'll do romance and so on, so on, so on. Okay, I want to read A Song of the Wrath and Ruin. Okay, so girlies, I don't know what happened to the footage here. I think I accidentally stopped recording, so let me just quickly fill you in. So this book, basically why I was so interested in it was the story, was the plot basically. And from my knowledge, it follows a princess whose mom has died, and like she wants to resurrect her, she wants to bring her back to life, and the only way she could do this is by getting the heart of a prince. What the hell does that mean? I'm not sure. Maybe the heart in like love, or maybe the heart as in like the actual organ. I don't know. Anyway, so she decides she's going to marry whoever wins the tournaments. I don't know what these tournaments or trials are about. I don't know why they're running in the kingdom, but I'm looking forward to getting into that anyway. We have a prince who his sister has been kidnapped by a god. The only way he can like get his sister back is by killing the princess. So he decides he's going to enter the trials too. But obviously while they're in the trials, I think obviously, you know, things always get heated, and yeah, I think it gets very complicated and very difficult. And obviously he wants his sister back, she wants her mom back. I don't know, that's what TikTok has told me, and by TikTok I mean Bookish by Tammy. She's where I got most of the recs, by the way, because like, yeah, you gotta love her down. She, you know, she's like queen of fantasy. I'm going off topic anyway. So yeah, that is on Kobo Plus, so I definitely will be reading that. I think I'll actually get to it in my Kobo Plus reading vlog, so if you're interested in that, then subscribe. Yeah, that's all. Oh, a very obvious one, Onyx Storm. I have not read the third book for that yet. That one will be on my list. I'm waiting till March because obviously I want the paperback. I want them to match the shelf. I'm not as eager to read Onyx Storm as I was to read Fearless, so I'm not gonna buy the hardback. I'm probably gonna have to reread that series too because I can't remember where I left off. Don't know if I film it. I feel like I might. I'm having a hard time filming the reread for Powerless, so I don't know if I want to do that again. It's so long to film all that footage and edit it. Oh my goodness, I don't think I'll do it again, but we'll see. If you guys want it, then comment down below. That's on the list, but I have two books that I'm kind of shocked because they're really high fantasy, and one is The Sword of
Kaigen.
Is it
Kaigen?
I don't know. That one, I can't remember what that book's about. I just know I watched somebody's video and they were talking about it, and I was like, wow, you sold me, girl. I put it on the list and I left it there, but I'm really in the mood for high fantasy, but I also feel like maybe I should get a little taste first and see before I pick up a book that thick. I think that's a thick book as well. That's one I want to get into. Maybe I should get a little idea what that book's about. A mother struggling to repress her violent past, a son struggling to grasp his violent future, and a father blind to the danger that threatens them all. When the winds of war reach. Okay, you know what it is? When I read this book from the blurb, it doesn't excite me. When I read this book from somebody else that's read it on Booktube or BookTok, it's like, bring it to me, let me eat it up. But when I read the blurbs of books, they never give what they're meant to give, and this is why I feel like it was so hard to get into reading. Like, I got into reading because I was watching so many people talk about books, and I was like, okay, yeah, you sold me, that book sounds amazing, I'm gonna jump into it. Whereas when I read the blurbs, it never gives me what I want to give. Like, I can't bother to read the blurb, which kind of makes me think, are you gonna want to read the book? Well, yes, I feel like I do. And just the cover, it looks so cold. He's just got the sword and he's standing on a mountain and the sky is looking crazy. Like the water, the pool, the ocean, or the pond, or whatever the hell that is, the river down below. Everything just looks good, but that's a thick book to dedicate a lot to. But speaking of thick books, okay, we ain't even reached the thick book that I want to read, and that one is called, okay guys, you know what's so funny? I don't have the book, but when I got the secondhand books, she sent a bunch of these miniature books in the pack. I have a couple over here that she sent, but this is the one that I'm feeling to try out next. Priory of the Orange Tree. This book is huge, okay? It is a huge dedication. Though that book is one of the books that you just take your time to read. But I can't lie to you, the cover is what's got me on this book. I don't know what the premise is. A lot of people have said it's a good book. The cover looks amazing. It gives me like really high fantasy, soak up the story, get lost in like a world type of book, like not just like quick, you know, where books like they just want to quickly give you what's happening. Like this gives me one of those where like you are immersed in this book, like it's gonna be worth it. I hope it's gonna be worth it. Oh my days, if I was to pick up this book and then it's not worth it. But yeah, I almost bought it, but I found it on my library. It was on my library. It was available very soon, so I decided to just join the waiting list, and I'll get to that one soon. It's rated 4.17 stars on Goodreads. I think what I might do is I might find a book that has a similar premise to this, that's slightly shorter, to test my capabilities first, you know, to see whether or not I can handle a book this thick with this much high fantasy in it, because again, I'm gonna want somebody to fall in love in there. It does say romance on it actually. It has some romance in it. As long as there's somebody falling in love, I can do. I don't know why that's needed. It's just needed. Okay. If any of you have recommendations on a book that's kind of like gives the same vibes or the same type of writing style, or maybe this author has other books, I don't know, something along them lines that I can start with to get my feet in the door, yeah, I'll probably have to have a look at this author's backlog and see whether or not they got any shorter books that I can get a vibe, a feel for their writing first before I dedicate that much book. Throne of Glass, definitely want to start that next year, but I've already got so many fantasy on here. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but those are all the fantasy books that are like on the top of the list for me right now. So now let's go into romance, and I'm gonna start with the books that I have on my shelf. Yeah, I said to you girlies, I didn't want to repeat myself with like books that I've already talked about in my 10 before the end. I'm gonna quickly flash one book, and that's Can't Get Enough by Kennedy Ryan. That's all I'm gonna say. I really want to get to this one. And then obviously a Christina Forrest book I have to read, and obviously I have this one on my shelf, so I'm definitely gonna start with A Neighbor Favor. 100%. Can't wait to get to this. Sick of seeing this on my shelf. Not really sick of seeing it on my shelf, but like sick of knowing that I still haven't read one of her books, but also knowing that it's a book that I'm really excited for. I feel like we added a lot of excitement for these books, which makes it harder to get into. Then I also have an author again that I really just need to read, and that's Talia Hilbert. Honestly, I don't care which book it is, but I have these on my shelf, so these might be the first picks. But there is a lot of her books on Kindle Unlimited. Roommate Risk. There's so many, I can't think of them right now, but there's so many Talia Hilbert books I want to read, and I'm convinced that she's going to be one of my favorite authors, because rom-com, love it. Black romance, love it. I love it all, mate. And she's very witty apparently, and very funny, and I want to find out for myself already, basically. So I'm very excited to get to any single Talia Hilbert book, but it's probably going to be Chloe Brown first, to be honest. So I've already told you guys quite a few times about the first book follows anyway. And just in case you don't know, it follows a girl that basically almost dies, and it literally says it right at the start of the book. Like right at the start of the book, it says, that's acknowledgements. Right at the start of the book, it says, once upon a time, Chloe Brown died. Nearly, full stop. So that's like the first sentence of the book. She almost dies. She decides to create a list of everything she's gonna do. You know, you can't almost die and then go back to your same boring life. Then she gets this guy to help her. I think it's actually Enemies to Lovers or Rivals to Lovers. Then I also have 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. This has been on my shelf for so long, and I think I kept telling myself I'm going to read it in summer for some reason. I think because it's hardback, it feels like I have to dedicate more to it. I don't know why. It's just not like an easy flick through and read it, but it is on Kindle Unlimited, so I think we'll be fine. So I'll pick this one up very soon. I believe it follows two authors that I think they like break up and then they keep writing to each other in their books, through their books. So that's so cute. Like, tell me that alone don't sound like the sweetest thing ever. Like, imagine like that guy that slipped away is what I think it is, I don't know. And like, you pick up his book and you know he's writing to you, so you write your next book and he reads it and he knows you're writing to him, and you guys just get, ow! Yeah, I think that's the vibe anyway. I hope I'm not wrong. But that's the vibe I get when everyone talks about it. And I don't really know, I don't want to know no more than that, but I hate that I've still got these on my shelf. Like, why have they not been read yet? Again, as I said, I'm not going to be talking about the books I talked about in my 10 before the end, but I can tell you for certain I will be reading a Ali Hazel book, and more specifically one from my shelf. I have read 2 of her books now, and they have not been books from my shelf, which just feels so stupid. So yeah, we will be getting to these at some point. Let me have a little scan of the shelf if there's any more romances that I really want to get into. That's all the romances that I really want to read that's on my shelf. But when it comes around to like just general books that I can't seem to get my hands on, Only for the Week by Natasha Bishop. I've just heard that the way she gets treated in that book, just one of those books where you read about a black girl getting treated like a princess, and I need that. Yeah, I can't find that book anywhere other than Amazon, so I'm just gonna have to make the purchase and buy it off Amazon soon. I also really want to get into Curvy Girl Summer by Danielle Allens. It's another summer romance about a black girl being loved on and just can't get enough of those books. Honestly, anyone being loved on, but I do love a black romance where she's being loved on. Oh, okay, I was gonna say I think that's all of them, but completely forgot one that I do have on my shelf, and that's Magnolia Parks. Yeah, don't need to say anything else other than that. Magnolia and BJ, super toxic, back and forth. Really want to be wrapped up in these characters' worlds. I want to know what's happening. Like, I want to be a part of the pack. You know what I'm saying? I need to know. And all I'm hearing is it's Gossip Girl vibes, but in the UK. I love Gossip Girl. I'll rewatch that on a random day. Mile High. I don't know what that actual series is called. The book girlies can't stop talking about these books. Mile High. The Windy City, that's what it's called. Really want to get into that series now. The covers are changing, I think. So the whole series is a sports romance, and each book is a different sport. I don't know how they're all connected. I don't know how they know each other. I don't know if they do know each other, but I imagine they would. The good series have a little bit of connections in there, in my opinion. Definitely want to read that. I feel like it's going to give me Chestnut Springs vibes, but not cowboy, more like sports. You know what I mean? Like the friends are going to be like that same type of connected vibes, I hope anyway. I got Sweet Heat from the library by Bolu Babilola. This is another romance I really want to get into next year. I have no doubt that I will be reading this next year. I did have a look at her chapters again in this book. She did me just as dirty as she did in the last book with the chapters. Let me see if I can even find... Okay, this one already looks like it's going to prove my point. Yep, chapter 1 already proves my point. This is a 40-page chapter. Is that normal? I don't like more than like 20 pages in a chapter. Like 40 pages to get to chapter 2. You can't be half tired and think, should I continue reading? Because as soon as you see that you've got to do 40 pages, you'll go right to bed. But yeah, we have Sweet Heat. This follows Malachi and Kiki, but in their adult life, I believe. It says an old fame returns, so I'm guessing they do break up. Can you play with fire without getting burnt? Oh, I can't wait. This one I feel like it's gonna be good. A lot of people have actually said it's a 5-star for them, so very excited to get into this one. Okay, I think that's all the romance that is at the top of my list. I suppose I could throw another one in off my shelf, but I'm not, like, to be honest, it's not my top pick for 26, but I know I definitely do want to get into the Rose Hill series now. I do miss my Elsie Silver books a little bit, so I'm happy to go into those now. So I'm just gonna fling a couple more in there that I do want to read. Restore Me. Is it just me? I can't find that book, and I also Calpone, which was in my 10 before the end, so I won't talk about that too much. I can't find those books in physical form in the UK. I think I can get Restore Me on Amazon, but Calpone, I can't get that anyway, but it's on Kindle Unlimited, so that's the only way you can seem to read it. Okay, so that's all of it for romance. Honestly, I don't know what number we're at. I have a strong feeling I'm gonna go over 26, but I'm gonna try not to. We're gonna enter thriller now. So for my thriller list, I bought Ace of Spades. Now this one, somebody said something along the lines of only 2 black people in a private school. They are doing really well, they're excelling, but then the other peers around them do a bunch of like fuck shit to basically knock them down, basically, so they don't succeed as much, and they do some crazy stuff that like will have you side-eyeing everyone around you. That's what I know. That is, yeah. It says, how can you play the game when the cards are stacked against you? This is a YA telling thriller with a shocking twist. It delves into the heart of institutionalized racism, so yeah, why not? I feel like it's really good. It's gonna be really good, but I also feel like it's gonna have me like depressed for a few weeks. I think honestly I'm not that heavy of a thriller girly, so I don't have any more thrillers. I think that, oh okay, Monday's Not Coming, I would like to put in the ringer, and Fast. Is Fast a thriller? I don't know if Fast is a thriller or just like a really heartbreaking romance. I'm not sure. In fact, let's just check together again. I'll put that on the back burner of my... I don't know if I can actually read that, because that if it's to do with SA and if it's too graphic, it's just too much, man. I get people say it's good to read. I don't know, man. Like, you should read hard books, but you got to think about your mental health sometimes. I don't know if I can handle SA of it. It says an 8-year-old. I don't know if that's who's gonna happen to, but I just seen 8-year-old. I see abuse, and I see the word. Yeah, no. I don't know for sure if that's actually on my list, but I'll see. One day when I'm feeling brave. Don't know if I can handle this one, so I'm probably just gonna focus on Monday's Not Coming. I'm hoping it's not too like dark, but it does sound really good. It literally says, Monday Charles is missing. Only Claudia seems to notice. Claudia and Monday have always been inseparable, more like sisters than friends. So when Monday doesn't turn up for school on her first day, Claudia's worried. When she doesn't show for the second day or the second week, Claudia knows something is wrong. Monday wouldn't just leave her to endure tests and bullies alone, not after last year's rumors, and not with her grades on the line. Claudia needs her best and only friend more than ever, but Monday's mother refuses to give Claudia straight answers, and Monday's sister April is no help. As Claudia digs deeper into her friend's disappearance, she discovers that no one seems to remember the last time they saw Monday. How can a teenage girl just vanish without anyone noticing that she's gone? Yeah, juice there. Oh, this is actually 4.25. So Monday's Not Coming is also on the list. How many books have I told you guys about? I don't know. But we're gonna move over from thriller into fiction, literary fiction basically. And let's have a look at what I actually have on the shelf, because I never have lit fiction on my shelf. I just realized that today. But I did do some purchasing. recently. And we have Yellowface. Now, this one's one that everyone was talking very highly about in, I don't remember what year it was. It feels like last year for me because it's kind of when I started reading. It follows a Asian author who wrote a book but died before it was published. Her friend, I think it was her friend, found the manuscript, stole it, published it underneath her own name. Obviously, there's a lot of Asian inspiration in the book, I would say. So she decides to act like she has Asian in her, hence Yellowface, basically. I think there's a lot of lies. It says, this is one hell of a story. It's just not hers to tell. Oh, it's not her friend. It's actually a rival. It says, when writer June witnesses her rival die in a freak accident, she sees her opportunity and takes it. So what if it means stealing her manuscripts and then borrowing her identity? Finally, June has fame she always deserved, but someone is about to expose her. She finally gets her big break and somebody's on the way to expose her of her lies and how she's fronting and trying to act like this is her story. It sounds amazing to me. I can't wait to read this one. Everyone is spoken so highly. It says Stephen King on here. It says hard to put down, harder to forget. Can't wait to read that one. I also have Blue Sisters. Now it says a sister is not a friend. You are part of each other right from the start. Oh, that's so sweet. So it follows 4 sisters who are completely different to one another. One of the beloved sisters passes away, and then when the 3 remaining sisters reunite in New York to attempt to stop the sale of their childhood home, they find that it's only by returning to each other that they can navigate their grief, addiction, heartbreak, and learn to fall in love with life again. Oh, guys, this is gonna finish me. I know the tears are gonna be streaking when I read this one. I can't wait. At the same time, I'm gonna get my highlighter ready for that book because there's a lot of quotes in there apparently. And then I have 3 last books now. Beartown. Honestly, it's more about the author, Frederick Backman. I read Anxious People. I loved it, and that's apparently not even his best work. I put Beartown down as the first one. I do definitely want to get into his books, and I think that's the first one I'm gonna pick up. You know what? Let's have a little look if we can find any information on it that's not going to be too much of a spoiler. Okay, I'm not getting much information other than it's a small town of people that are obsessed with hockey, and there's an event that happens that splits the town up. I can't wait. So Beartown is on the list, and I don't know much about it other than that. The next one on the list was The Wedding People. If you guys don't know, I love Clea D, and honestly, she doesn't really need to say much, but she's very good at like describing a book and like, getting you like, okay, I want to read that book, at least for me. So she said The Wedding People, I believe, was one that really floored her. I don't even remember what it's about. I just heard her talk highly about it through on the list, but I think it follows people at a wedding. Bruh. I don't know what's happening at the wedding, but I kind of like the idea of being stuck in one scenery. I don't know if they break out, but I like the idea of being stuck in one scene and then learning about everyone around. That's kind of like how Anxious People was written by Frederick Backman. It was just about that robbery, and then you kind of intertwined into everyone's life and how they all kind of, you know, yeah, loved that so bad. I'm very excited to read The Wedding People. I don't know if it has the same type of vibe. Honestly, yeah, I'm not gonna find out. I don't care. I just think the book itself is gonna be one that I'm really gonna enjoy. I have been tempted to try and use Book of the Month, you know, to get their first book. You know how you get like £5 or $5 or something like that. I might use that to get one of these books because I don't know if you guys watched. The next video will be my Clear the Cart series, and I have added some new rules to the Clear the Cart series to help make sure I read the book, and I'm gonna need all the discount books I can possibly afford with the new rules that I applied in the Clear the Cart episode. So if you want to watch that, guys, subscribe, stick around to next week's video so you can watch that one. The last and final book that I put on here is The Favorites. All I know, it follows some ice skaters and the energy alone from everyone's reviews is what's made me want to read it. Can't remember what it's about, just heard so much high praise about it, so that is on the list too. I can tell you right now, I feel very happy that a lot of the books that I want to read I do own and it's on my cart. However, wish all of them were on the cart, and I will actually have to read the majority of the books on my cart in order to buy any of the books that I don't have in the cart. If you want to learn more about that, then go watch the Clear the Cart series 2. I've added some new rules to help make sure that I stick to it. Yeah, it's a long day over there, so hopefully subscribe if it's not out already. If it is, click it, so it'll be on the screen right now. So thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know the books you're excited to start reading in 2026 so we can all have a little discussion down in the comment sections. Don't be shy. Introduce yourself. Say hi. You know all the rest. I'm very excited for 2026. I hope you guys are too. Bye!